I'm going to share three things. First is a bit of my own reflection on the election generally and democracy that I see. I'm pretty new to politics, so it's more like a first impression that I get. Next, I talk a bit about the Malay community issues, which is what I wanted to do over the election rallies. And thirdly, I will share a bit about my personal take and the future of how I think we can move forward. Firstly, on the election and democracy, I think we are all aware that it's extremely imbalanced between the incumbent and the opposition. There's no level playing field as far as politics is concerned in Singapore, which is a sad thing. I mean, if I say it's dirty, people may not like it, so it's not clean. So the thing is, we keep hearing from the government about principles, character, integrity, values, honor, and so on. Yet we are really facing severe, oppression, if you can use the term, when you have the mainstream media, you have boundary adjustment that come in, like 1-2 months before election. Like for us in Marsiling UT, we were stuck because we have been walking down Marsiling. Suddenly we have to go into UT because the government decided to carve it into the. And I faced situation when we were doing a walkabout. Residents in UT will tell you in the face, why should I vote for you? I've never seen you here, which is true because we just got there because the government suka cut it there because they have all the figures. So it's tough. Then grassroots institution that is heavily politicized. Yet whenever we say certain things, we are accused of politicizing things. So then 9 days of campaigning period, which is madness for us, because that's the only window that we have to say whatever that we want, whereas the incumbent have more than that. And of course, the cooling day joke. The cooling day is such a joke. We shut our mouth, we can't say anything, and they blast everything on that day to influence the public. Of course, if you are a Malay, if you read the Malay paper, it's lagi shameful. It's really like a PAP newspaper. Nothing about us. It's just them. PAP newsletter, yes. So it's tough. It's tough for us in the opposition. But looking at my colleagues, they are all very spirited and they want to continue. But we may have to do certain things to make sure that come 5 years' time, things get better. We maybe not everything, but certain things are level up. The field of play is a lot more even for us. The imagery that came to me is actually, when you see World Cup or even EPL League games, before the start of the match, you have this banner, fair play. Fair play they carry. That's what we need. We need a certain campaign so that the public is very involved in demanding that as far as politics is concerned, there should be even playing field for everyone. Then I think the opposition have a chance to really be fairly judged by the public, and they have an informed way to decide. So that's a bit about my first-hand experience on election and democracy in Singapore, which really is it's not the case. The democracy is a bit sad for us in Singapore. But I think the oppositions have done a lot to push the margins further and further. Next is on the Malay community. I really cherish this moment because I get to speak to the majority Chinese community, which I think it's best that you hear, how we feel and so on. Then you understand our situation. See, within the Malay community, there is an unhealthy relationship between the government and the Malay community, which is one of suspicion and containment rather than trust and empowerment. There may be reasons in the past because of the separation and so on, which we can understand. But after 50 years, we have to review this relationship. How can you still, blanket the entire community on distrust just because of there are not cases in the community that talk about things that we don't like. But it's not fair for you to just blanket the whole community and distrust us. You discriminate us on many grounds. And then do not invade the issue. The issue is about discrimination. That's what I tried to do during the rallies, to raise the Tudong issue and so on, which is about discrimination. It's not about religion, it's not about race, it's discrimination. You discriminate someone who wants to wear the Tudong, but she can do the work just because of certain reasons. I don't explain. Just say that common space needs to be protected, it's problematic and so on. When we ask why, give us the reason, no explanation. Trust the government, trust the Malay MPs who is discussing this in private, behind the scene, which have taken place for 50 years. So we need a bit more transparency in telling us. And if the reason is reasonable, I think the Malaysian community can accept. If really it's about certain things that's very sensitive, tell us, we want to know. And I think we are mature enough to deal with it. So are there other consideration, demographic, for example? Look, our percentage has gone down. We were used to be 17%, now we are 13%. You keep bringing outsiders, we're going to do 7 or 8%. So that's the reality. I have to accept it. My community is going to be lesser and lesser. But look, treat us like Singaporean, and we want to contribute truly to the success of Singapore. And then within the community, there are systemic problem which has been established for so long. Social and institutional structures of the Malay community are in the hands of the government. Very close, too close for comfort. MUIS is with the government, Mendaki is with the government, the mosques are with the government, the community-based NGOs are all receiving money from the government, therefore they don't dare speak out against the government. So they are heavily reliant on the government funding, and therefore everybody keep their mouth shut. I'm very involved in community work in the Malay community before I joined politics. So when I joined politics, everybody was shocked. What is this guy doing, joining politics? And the word out there that I know from close friends inside is that everybody must cease relation with Daman because he has joined the opposition. He said, why this is the reality. So we got to change this. Then the leadership of the community is cosmetic and non-consultative. You appoint leaders of the community that are really not representative of what the community really wants, especially in the political scene. So the approach of SDP in dealing with the Malay community issues, which I find very commendable and I like it, is that they have a paper that deals with the issue openly. Issues of discrimination is addressed, highlighted, and we talk about it openly. And it's a Singaporean thing, whether you are Chinese, Indian, we talk about it openly, and we trust one another. And that's, I think, is the spirit that I like. And we ask hard questions on those issues. And then the common space argument, all that, we have to look into those things. As far as the Malay community is concerned, meritocracy that the Prime Minister keep talking about is a slap on our face. You tell us meritocracy and then we cannot take certain position in the army. You tell us meritocracy, we cannot do this. So don't tell us meritocracy, then we can, okay, we are alright with it. Don't tell us meritocracy, because it's not. If meritocracy is based on merit, then be true to what you say. So we are a bit sad that this is happening. Okay, lastly, for the three cabin, personal and future plans for me. Like I said just now, when I decided to enter politics, it's like harakiri for me. Several times with many friends, but privately they text me, all the best, all the best, all the best. They are listening to me saying, all the best, Daman, they can't. Suicidal for them. But encouragement came overwhelming from family and some close friends. Give you a lot of boost you in terms of giving personal support. However, the community at large is very supportive of me being involved. They know I've been involved in community work, and they support. So that has been helpful. Looking ahead for the next 5 years, I would like to leverage on the political status that I am now very clearly involved. I'm a politician and address some of these issues, which I hope they still give me space to engage in whatever forum that is available. And of course, I will wear the SDP banner to talk about those things. At the Marsiling UT area, maybe with our comrades that is the contestant in Marsiling UT, I had this idea of maybe we should set up an NGO that we call Common Space that allow us to be present in Marsiling UT area, dealing and discussing with residents on issues and identifying gaps, and then we can see what we can do in terms of addressing some of those concerns in the spirit of cooperation with grassroots bodies, with national bodies, and so on, and we see how it goes. And I think that will be useful to create our presence on the ground. Although Dr. Wong Sui is a Marsiling resident, so she has an advantage there. Or some of us, we are not there, so we have to create our presence there. And then at the personal level, I got to do a lot of reading to increase my political knowledge and analysis, which I believe SDP will help me a lot. So that's all that I want to share this afternoon. Thank you very much for all your support, your presence.